Hey people, what's up? Just got home from my parents' house, cutting down some trees and stuff in their backyard. So, I am back like a vertebrae. Thank you, Violent J. I'll never steal a bar without giving somebody credit for it. A lot of them will be from Theramage. Now, this won't be the first time that this may be the first time I say it. I don't know if I've had a Michael Keaton movie in here yet. I love Michael Keaton. And I always thought he was awesome since I was a kid and I saw Johnny Dangerously. Now, I don't even know where to stream that yet. Probably gonna have to order it on DVD. Johnny Dangerously's coming. I don't know if that's one I can watch for that then, really. I don't remember exactly what was in it, but I watched whatever I wanted as a kid, so she doesn't have the same access to movies as I did. Now, this is a Michael Keaton movie that I've never seen. And I'm not sure exactly why I've never seen it. We're going Pacific Heights. This is 1990, so I was 11 years old when it came out. But for whatever reason, I never watched it in my teenage years. I don't know. Maybe it was because he was playing a menacing character, and I didn't like the idea of that. So it could be that. It could be the addition of a certain Matthew Modine to the cast. I've never liked the guy in anything. And I don't know exactly why it is. He seems like a decent dude. I mean, I just don't think he's a very good actor. I don't know how else to explain it. And I've seen him in a lot of things, and anything that he's in, I'm always like, he's the weakest part of it for me. So that's a shame. But luckily, Melanie Griffith is here to play backup on this movie, and she is a much more capable thespian as far as I'm concerned. But, oh yes, you are beautiful. I love you. Dogs never stop needing attention. So, this movie starts off, it's got this cool cinematography. You're talking, it's very reminiscent of the late 80s, early 90s. Got that, like, long shot feel, you know. I just don't see stuff anymore that has a certain aspect of that time. If you were alive at that time and observing the world, you'll know the cross culture that was traversing from the 80s into the 90s. Going from that Reagan culture into the grunge rock era. And so even like hip hop was transforming from its infancy into what I would consider the golden age. There was a lot going on culturally in America at the time that this movie was taking place. Now, there's no way they couldn't really play that into the movie, but it does also date the movie quite a bit because if you weren't alive then, many of the things will seem out of place to you in the movie. So I don't know if it's a movie that's going to translate well from generation to generation to generation. We're not talking about the Lion King here. So, film wise, it is a dated movie. But to go along with the cool cinematography, um, the story, I don't think if I had watched it as a child would really have had any kind of effect on me in any way. The reason being, if you've never owned anything, this movie might not really mean as much to you. Even for a lot of adults out there who've never actually owned anything, this movie might not mean a whole lot to you. You might not feel the frustrations of a landlord who cannot get rid of an increasingly unacceptable person who's not paying and not being reasonable and smashing things and doing whatever the fuck they want, and you are trying to get rid of them, and it doesn't matter what you try to do because the police aren't really working with you because they're just like, whatever, it doesn't matter to anybody. And this happens a lot. People think landlords out here are making billions of dollars. Well, let me tell you something. Small landlords make barely any fucking money off your ass. I promise you. You, in many ways, are just lucky that that person even has a place to let you reside, because if the government takes all this shit over, it's going to be way fucking worse for everyone. I promise you. You think in your head, oh, this guy's just greedy. He's just making me pay the blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, his property taxes have gone up and up and up and up and up every single year to the tune of thousands of dollars, which means it's a slice of 100 off everything everyone pays you. Slice, slice, slice. And next thing you know, you're literally paying money to have people live in a place where you own. And the government has to stop stealing everyone's shit and letting people just live wherever for free. It has to stop. I think we all realize that. It's craziness. Pure out craziness. When the government tells everyone, yeah, you don't have to pay your rent. It's just rent-free season. You don't have to pay it. There's nothing that your landlord can do. And then your landlord still has to pay their mortgage. So they just have to keep working and paying and paying, and tons of people are just not paying anything. They're just like, nah, what are you going to do? Nah. It's like the same thing over here in good old Connecticut when the governor says, yeah, you don't have to pay your electric bill. There's nothing that the electric company can do. And then they tell the electric company, yeah, we're just going to add a fee to everyone's stuff later. Nah. We'll just add a fee to everyone who pays. And there'll be nothing they can do about it. And then your bill all of a sudden increases $200 a month to pay the company back for all the 2 years where he let everyone just not pay their freaking bills by some decreed law like a king. And you're like, wow, thank you. That's incredible. That's the kind of shit that landlords get. So to all of you who think that landlords are out here making tons of money off you, they're not. And this movie is perfect to I don't even intellectualize the way that landlords are put upon with cinematography. Because as the movie goes on, the camera work becomes more and more crowded. And by that I mean it's taking up like less space to show more stuff. And so everything starts to begin to feel cramped. And you start to feel, as a viewer, claustrophobic to the camera. And which is how a landlord feels when you're screwing them over and not paying your rent and they still have to pay their mortgage. That's what happens. So remember that. And don't screw over your landlord. Just get a second job or something if you can't pay your rent. Or find someone else to live with you. Or hustle harder. Because honestly, we have it easy in this country. And if you're unaware of that, you should be aware of that. Even people who, the most destitute among us, have healthcare. And a TV in their apartment. And some kind of food. Like, so, pay landlords. They deserve the money. That doesn't mean there aren't slumlords. If there are legal means to go about these things. But landlords feel claustrophobic when they're tied to people who don't actually want to pay anything. If you don't want to pay anything and you want to be destructive, get together with like 20 people who are like you, band your money up, and buy a property with a bunch of rental apartments and rent them to yourselves and go live in there and split the mortgage. It's that simple. And then you can be destructive and you can do whatever you want and no one's going to care. Because you're not destroying their shit. You know? Now, the other thing is, this movie, again, the suspension of disbelief. If I was a landlord and I called the police on you And they came and they were like, there's nothing we can do. And then you came and you like threatened me in some crazy way. I would slap the fucking shit out of you right there in the hallway. Bing, bang, boom, and I'd kick you the fuck out. And I'd change the locks. And when the cops came, I'd tell them, sue me. Arrest me, and you guys can sue me. That motherfucker ain't living at my place. And then if you came back, I'd bust your fucking head with a hammer. So it's a really weird movie in a way that they just like, and some weird white person stuff. They do their weird white person thing where they're like, I guess this he's a little annoying. He's threatening us and stuff, but what are you gonna do? Oh my God, Gracie, we should call the police. My God, he's threatening us. No, man, you fucking threatened me the first time, smacking the shit out of you. Don't fucking threaten me. I don't know what you think this is, but it ain't that. So the movie is unrealistic. It's just in that way. Because I think most people, if they had this guy down there, he wasn't, like, even menacing like I thought he was supposed to be in this movie. He's supposed to be some kind of menacing character. And he just wasn't really. I mean, he was just like an annoying douchebag. And then it gets even more unrealistic because you got this situation. All right, hold on. Before I get into this, real quick, I give the movie a 6. Nah, it was whatever, flat. If you're from that time, you could watch it if you've never seen it. If you haven't seen it in a long time, whatever with it. So, spoiler alert, if this is going to spoil you. So what ultimately happens is they're dealing with the cops, and they can't get the dude out, blah, 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 whatever. So they end up killing the fucking guy. And then, like, nothing really happens. And they just kill him, and then he's not there anymore. And they kind of just, like, get rid of the body in the most circumspect way. But it's like, you already had involved the police in this shit a bunch of times. And then all of a sudden, the dude mysteriously disappears. And he had, like, friends and contacts. People came over there. They were seeing him all the time. And all of a sudden, you just, I don't know, he took off. He take me. Hey, I don't know, he took off. That's what he tells his friends, and his friends go back. So, the unrealisticness of the whole show, it kind of... I still love Michael Keaton. This one was not for me. But it could be for you. Don't let my opinions become the judge of your opinions. Have a good night.